Hello and welcome. I'm Raghav from Automation Step by Step, and today we are going to see in a very basic step-by-step way how we can run our Cucumber BDD tests with TestProject's OpenSDK. This is going to be very easy and very interesting, and I will show you step by step how exactly we can do it. So let's get started, and before we see the demo, let us see the prerequisites. The first thing you will need is Java on your system. In case you are on Windows, you can go to your command prompt and say Java space hyphen version, and if you get a version of Java, that means Java is installed and set up on your system. If you're on Mac, press command spacebar to bring up the spotlight and go to terminal, and again say Java space hyphen version, and this will show you your Java version. Now in case you do not see or find Java, you can check my tutorial if you go on my website automationstepbystep.com. Here if you go to the Java playlist, here it will take you to my YouTube playlist on Java, and here you can check how to install Java on Windows, how to install and update Java on Mac. In case you are on Linux, you can check the Linux tutorial here. So with that, we are done with our first prerequisite. Then we should have some IDE for Java where you can do Java programming. In this case, I am going to use Eclipse, but you can use any IDE for Java. And just in case you are completely new with Eclipse, you can check here my tutorial on getting started with Eclipse. This is again in the Java playlist, and here on my Windows system I have Eclipse. So I will just open my Eclipse here, and it is up and running here. Then we should have an account on TestProject. So I'm hoping you should already have an account, but just in case you do not have an account, you can go to the TestProject website, that is testproject.io, and create an account. I already have an account and I am already logged into my account here. So this is the third prerequisite, and then we should also have our TestProject agent installed and running. So if you go to your TestProject account, you can go to agents and you can download the agent and then register the agent. I have already shown this in my tutorials on TestProject. If you again go to my website automationstepbystep.com, you will find a link for TestProject. This will take you to YouTube playlist for my test project videos, and you will see all the tutorials here. You can also watch a tutorial on the OpenSDK. This will be very handy and very useful. This will show you how we start and use OpenSDK, although I'm going to show you everything in this tutorial for Cucumber Java BDD. So these are the prerequisites, and I will also provide all the links for these reference videos in the description below this video. So with that, let us start with our step number 1. We have to create a Maven project. So I will go to my Eclipse and I will go to File, New, and I will go to Others and search for Maven. So you should get a Maven project here. In case you are using a very old version of Eclipse, you may have to add a Maven plugin, but otherwise all the recent versions have Maven inbuilt in Eclipse. So I will select this and say next, and here I will say create a simple project, next, and I have to give a group ID. I will say io.testproject.demo, and artifact ID I will say test project cucumber bdd demo, or just say test project cucumber bdd and say finish. So this will create my project and it is here, and you will find all the folders and packages created, and we also have a pom.xml. So this is a file where I can manage all my dependencies. So you can see we have this pom.xml, and all the libraries that I will add here, all the dependencies can be managed from here. And this is one of the advantage of creating a Maven project. I do not have to manually add the jars or the test project SDK. Everything will be managed from here, and in a moment I will show you all this. So we have done step number 1. Step number 2 is we have to add the dependency for Cucumber Java. Now I will show you how to add for test project, but for now let us add a Cucumber Java dependency. Now in case you already have a Cucumber Java project, you may skip the earlier few steps and start when I create and add a test project dependency. But for the complete beginners, let me show you this step as well. So here I will go to Maven repository, and I will go here, Maven repository, which is mvnrepository.com, and search for Cucumber Java. Now here you can find Cucumber Java from io.cucumber and also from info.cukes. We have to get it from io.cucumber. Even if you go here, it will tell you that this artifact was moved to io.cucumber. So let us just go here to io.cucumber, and you can get whatever is the latest stable version at your time. So I will get the latest version here, copy it, and then this I have to add in my pom.xml. So here, let me also increase the font. I will go to Windows, Preferences, General, Editors, Text Editors, and here I will go to Colors and Fonts, go to Edit. So I want to use this, and we'll go with, I think this should be fine. I will say OK, apply, apply and close. I hope this is now very readable and visible. I can press Control plus or Control minus to increase or decrease the fonts. So this should be fine. So here I'm going to first create a column for dependency or section for dependencies. So I will say dependencies, and I'm getting this auto completion, and under the dependencies section I will just paste the dependency for Cucumber Java. And now as soon as you will save your project, press Ctrl S or save, you will see a Maven dependencies section which will add all the required dependencies here. And now everything will be taken care by Maven. Now to correct the formatting, you can press Ctrl A and Ctrl I on your keyboard. In case of Mac, Command A and Command I, and then you can save everything. So we have done step number 2. Step number 3 is now we will add a feature file to create a login scenario, and this is what we do in BDD. We create features and scenarios, and also if you are completely new to BDD, you can always check my Cucumber BDD tutorials here. So this is my Cucumber Java tutorials, and for basics of BDD you can check this. What exactly is BDD? How do we start? How does BDD starts in an organization? All this you will find here. So let me now go and create a feature file, and here I will go to my src test resources folder, do a right click and say new, and first I will create a folder and call this as features. And inside this folder now I will create a feature file. I will say new file, and for login, let us say I want to create a login feature. I will say login, and the extension should be dot feature, and I will say finish. Now as soon as I do this, Eclipse is telling me that there are some plugins in the marketplace that can help you to read and work with feature files. So I can say OK, and this will take me to the marketplace and search for all the Cucumber related features. You can also go to your help menu and go to Eclipse marketplace directly from here and search for feature Gherkin or Cucumber. So Gherkin is the language or the format we use. So I'm searching for Cucumber, and again I'm getting this. So I can install this, and you will see the icon will also change here once we have this plugin installed. And this is done. I will read and accept and say finish, and then I'll just say install this time, and it is asking me to restart Eclipse. So I will say restart, and this will restart Eclipse. So we have also done step number 4, that is we have added a Cucumber plugin, but we are yet to create a feature file. So let me just go back to my Eclipse, let it start, and now I will go back to my project and go to SRC test resources, go to features, and now you can see we have this highlighted in this icon. This is for Cucumber. Also, if I now create a new feature, let me just rename this one. I will say refactor, rename. I will call this as login1.feature, and I'm going to create a new feature file inside the features folder. So I will say new file and say login.feature, and now this time you will see as I create a new feature file, it also gives me some auto generated steps or some statements, And this will be very handy if you are doing it for the first time, but let me just close everything. I will delete everything so that I can show you from scratch. And here, to create a new feature, the top I will say feature and give some title of this feature. I will say check login functionality, and then I will create a scenario, and the scenario is check login is successful with valid credentials. And then after this, I will give the steps using the Gherkin language or keywords which is given. So we use these keywords given, when, and then. I will say given user is on login page when user enters valid username and password and clicks on login button, then user is navigated to the home page. So this is how we create feature and scenarios. And you can also do a right click and you can see these options: pretty format, find step definition, recalculate. All this is coming from the Cucumber plugin. So I will say pretty format, so it will do the formatting, and we have now created a very simple scenario or a feature for login. Now step number 5 is we have to add step definition, and step definition is the code or the steps that will back these statements. So when I say given user is on login page, what exactly should be the step? That is, the user or the control should navigate to a browser and navigate to the login page. All that steps we write in a step definition file. And for that, let me first just run it and check. I will do a right click and say run as Cucumber feature, and again this option we are getting from the plugin. I will say Cucumber feature here, and you can see on the console it is saying that you have not yet implemented the missing steps, and I can directly use these snippets to implement the missing steps. So I can just copy it from here. If you do not get this, don't worry, you can manually create this. And now I will create a step definition or a glue code. So here I will go to src test java package, do a right click, and first I will create a folder for steps. You can give it any name like step definition or steps, and then inside this folder, or you can also create a package. I will create a new class and I will say this is login. You can say login steps or whatever name you want to give, and say finish. So we have now got a class, and inside this class I am just going to paste the snippets. To correct the formatting, I will press Ctrl A to select everything and Ctrl I. So this will correct all the indentation and formatting. And also I can say click inside and press Ctrl M so that we get a full page. And now you can see the syntax here is I can create a function saying public void and any name of the function, and at the top I can say at given, and this is exactly what is coming from our feature file. So on the feature file we said given user is on login page, so here it is saying at given, and in brackets inside quotes this is the exact step coming from the feature file, so that Cucumber will know that when we run this step given user is on login page, then I have to run this particular code which is inside this function. Also you must be getting errors here, so if you hover over the error, I will import this from io.cucumber.java.en. This is coming because we have already added our Cucumber Java dependency. Similarly for when, and here in the feature file it is end, but because this is after when, I can still use when here, and then this also should come from io.cucumber. So now everything is fine, and you can see this is my complete class for step definition. And as of now it has some dummy code. Let me clean and delete all this. I will press Ctrl D to delete the entire statement or line. And now I will just add some code, so I will know that this is running fine. I will say system.out.println. You can say syso and press Ctrl spacebar for auto completion. And here I will say I am inside given. Similarly, I will copy this and say I am inside when, and here also I will say I'm inside and then I'm inside then. This is just for checking. I will add the actual code in a moment. So now if I go to my feature file, right click and say run as cucumber feature. Let us see this time. Let me go to console, and yes, you can see this is running fine. I'm inside given, when, and then. So we are able to create a feature file and its step definition. Now we have to add the test project dependency and then initialize the browser. So until now we have not yet added test project. So now we will be adding the dependency for test project. Again, go to Maven repository and I will search for test project, and here you can see all these options. We should be getting test project from the official io.test project. So I will click here. This is the SDK and get the latest release, and I will copy the dependency and go to my pom.xml file, and here I will add the dependency. So this is the second dependency we are adding in our project, and save. You can say Control A and Control I to correct the formatting. And if you now go to your Maven dependencies, you will see all the required dependency for test project must be added. And if I check here, you can also see all the Selenium and everything is added because test project SDK has all the support for Selenium and APM, and now I do not have to add any Selenium or any APM library separately. So this is done, and now next step is we will create a runner class. So what is the runner class? Until now we have directly ran from here from the feature file, but when we have to run multiple features and maybe we have to run with some tags with some other cucumber options, in that case we can use a cucumber runner file, and this is how we create it. Let me show you. I will just go and first create a new package or a folder under src test java. I will call this as runner, and then inside this I am just going to create a new class and I will call this as cucumber runner and say finish. So this is created, and now I will add some options. The first thing I will have to do is just above the class I will say at run with cucumber dot class. So I will say at run with cucumber dot class, and then I will say I can add some cucumber options. I will say add cucumber options. Now you can see I'm not getting any auto suggestions, auto completion. In fact, I am getting errors. That is because the libraries that we need are not yet added, or the dependencies are not yet added. And the dependencies we need here are, we need JUnit and cucumber JUnit. So first let me add this and then I will show you the rest of the steps. In place of JUnit you can also get TestNG, but let me just go with JUnit here. So I will search for JUnit, and here you can get it from here, JUnit. So it says it was moved, but let me just get the latest one from here. I will copy this and in my pom.xml I will add it and save. And then we also need cucumber JUnit. So go for cucumber JUnit and again get it from io.cucumber, and here get the latest one, and this again I will add here. And now let me just correct the indentation, Control A and Control I. And now if you get these kind of errors, maybe it is some formatting issue, you can delete and add again, and yes, this is gone. Now I will go back to my cucumber runner, and if I now hover over here run with, you can see I'm getting this option, get it from JUnit runner, org.junit runner, and then here for cucumber options also I will get from io.cucumber.junit.cucumber options, and you may have to write this again. I will say cucumber.class, and the errors are gone. Now for the cucumber options I can give here, I can give the location of my feature file and also the step definition. So I will say here features equals to, and I will give the location. Now this is my features folder. I will do a right click, go to properties, and I will get the location relative to the project location, which is until here, copy, and I will paste it here. Now I can remove the double backslash will work on Windows but will fail on Mac or Linux. So let me just give a single forward slash. This will work on all operating systems, and I will save. And then I will also have to give the step definition and we say glue. Let me go to the next line for easy readability, and I will say equals to, and here I will give the location, and here you can just mention the name. So if I just say steps, this is the name of the package or the folder. They should be able to find the step definition from this folder. So that's it. Let me try to run. If I just do a right click here and say run as JUnit test, let us see what happens. So yes, looks like this is running fine. It is able to find our feature and it is running fine. If I check the console, everything is okay here. It is running I'm inside given when and then. So this is fine, but now we have to do the integration with TestProject, and for that we need this plugin io.testproject.sdk, and I will add this statement in the description as well. So here you can say I will give a comma here, again go to next line and I will say plugin, and then again within curly brackets I can say, now here sometimes these curly brackets create some issues, so you can check whether it is working without these curly brackets or with curly brackets. So here I'm just going to add this statement. This is to provide a plugin for TestProject Cucumber Reporter. So with this, we will be able to get the report, the Cucumber run reports on our test project. So this is done. And now the other important thing is I will have to go to my step definition, and until now I am just running some dummy statements, but now I will have to actually open the browser and do a login. So now we have done until step number 8 and we have also done step number 9, but we still need to add the actual statements, and for this I have shown this in the earlier video when we learned how to use OpenSDK. So this is how we have to initialize our browser driver. So I will say here Chrome driver, and this should come from test project driver equals null here. So here if I hover over, you can see this should be coming from io.testproject.sdk. So I will add this, and then inside the user is on login page I will use this. I will press Ctrl M to show you the full screen. So I will need a driver builder, and again I will get it from io.testproject.sdk. Chrome option I will get from here. So you must have seen that I have not added any Selenium dependency. Everything is coming from test projects SDK, and this URL should be coming from the java.net. Let me also add a throws declaration. Now here, so this location is pointing to the test project agent, and because my test project agent is as of now running on this local machine, so I'm saying localhost 8585. In case your test project is remotely running, you can always get the location and then maybe you can use the IP here, and then you can give the URL like this, and this is the token which you will get from your test project. So if you just go to your test project and go to integrations and go to SDK, here you can get your token that you will be using in your project, and this is my token, and then the rest of the thing dot build chrome driver dot class. So this is the way that we can do integration with test project, and now I can write rest of the actions like driver dot navigate. This will be the URL where I want to go. So let's just say I want to go to this website example.testproject. This is a demo website on test project. So I will go here and I can use driver.navigate.to, and this should be fine, and yes, this is fine. And then I have to go to this username. If I do a right click and say inspect, I can get a property or some locator for this username. We have name and all these properties, and in fact I have this copied earlier, so I can directly just use it for saving some time to add username and password. I will just copy it from here and add it here, and then we have to click on the login button. I will use this, and if you're getting any errors, just check what is the error. So I will just import this classes, and then finally we have to check the user is navigated. Let me just use this, and finally it is closing the browser. So you can see this is the complete code for doing a login. And now I can go and check. I will go to Cucumber Runner and I will do a right click, run as JUnit test, and let us see what happens now. So yes, it has started and it goes to the browser, opens the browser, and it should navigate to the application, and yes, it is doing, and I believe it was very fast, but it has done. If we check all this, everything is done. So it shows pass here, and now we have to check the results on test project. So I will go to my test project, and here I will go to monitor. So it should show this running or recently run here, all the latest runs here, and this is the one. I can check and go to the reports here, and yes, you can see here the job duration, the start time, executed by the agent, all the details here. And here you can see the exact statements that is coming from our feature file. Given user is on login page, when user enters valid username and password and clicks on login button, somehow it did not record the last step, that is then. Let me very quickly check here. So if I go to my login.java, here instead of quit, I will try close driver.close, and let me see what happens now. I will save and run the Cucumber runner again. I will say run as JUnit test, and let us see what happens this time. So it opens the browser, goes to the application, and let me check here. Yeah, this time it went to then. And also if I now check the report, I will go to monitor and I will go to the latest report. And yes, you can see all these steps are now coming here. So now everything is working fine, and you can always get the full report or generate the PDF report from here, and this will generate a complete PDF report for you. So here is the PDF and all our environment information, the results, summary, the details, everything is here. So we are now also done with step number 10, that is check the results on test project. I hope this was very useful for you. I will see you soon. Thank you for watching and never stop learning.